Hello, my name's Franz Sands. Welcome to myboxingcoach.com. My 5 fearsome factors about Tyson Fury. So this video, I occasionally produce one of these. So we pick a particular fighter and I identify 5 things that for me set that fighter apart from others, or 5 fearsome factors that you can look to emulate in your training, your fitness work, or indeed your boxing. So Tyson Fury, a really unique character, someone that has grown on me over the years. Early on in his career, I never got him. He never resonated with me, either from a stylistic point of view or, the character, the persona, his way of approaching things. I never got him. At best, you could say I was kind of like, roll my eyes, here we go. I never disliked him, but I never really understood him. Putting his skills aside for the moment, there's a bunch of other stuff about him that I have grown to admire hugely. So these 5 fearsome factors are a bit different. They're a bit unique, a little bit like him. So the first 2 I'm going to be chatting through. They are not technical things, but I think they are no less important, and maybe even more important. And then the final 3 move into the technical domain then. So number 1, fearsome factor, the mental strength of Tyson Fury. He has this in abundance. He has a self-belief that even by boxer standards is off the chart. I think he feels he has a greater purpose. He's got a calling to become sort of the heavyweight champion of the world. So he's fighting for that self-belief, that core belief. I think he's got an honesty and an openness and a frankness that is really unusual in the modern world. He's well documented. He battles depression. So with all of the other stuff going on in his life, he still has enough strength, mental strength, to battle depression and do all of the other stuff. And I think he's really genuine in his desire to help others when it comes to mental health and mental health issues. His willingness to be open and talk about his alcoholism and talk about the battles with drugs. And I think some things transcend sport, and I think the importance of mental health is one of those things. And I think Tyson Fury is a credit to himself, the way he talks about that, and then the way he translates it. So how does it translate in a boxing ring? Look, I think it actually translates into physical endurance as well. Take the first fight, the 12th round knockdown against Deontay Wilder. I have never seen anyone go down like that, heavyweight or otherwise, and get up. I've seen lots of people go down like that, but they stay down. I mean, you can count to 100 now for them are not going to get up. He had no business getting up from that. So first fearsome factor, his mental strength, and that translates into his boxing. Second fearsome factor then is his ability to grow and develop. I don't mean grow as in, I mean grow as a boxer, grow his skills. I have this theory about heavyweights versus, say, welterweights or middleweights or all the others. Relatively speaking, there are fewer heavyweights. So by virtue of that, the level of competition at heavyweight, especially earlier on in life, is lessened. Therefore, I believe it takes longer to create a heavyweight boxer. You've got your Mike Tyson's, okay? So but let's put him to one side. He was a really unusual case. Generally speaking, I think because of the reduced level of competition, heavyweights take a bit longer to come to the fore, to develop. When you look at the Tyson Fury transformation from, say, 2008 when he first started boxing, all the way up to, say, 2020, it's unbelievable. He's honed aspects of his style plus all of the other factors of the mental strength and his attitude and the way he sells his sport. So for me, in training, I think he's got a growth mindset. I think despite all of the bragging and everything else that comes out in front of the cameras to sell fights, because that's what boxers have to do, sell fights, I think in training he's probably really humble. I think he's probably really open to learning, really listens to different points of view about how he could try different things and work different things. And I think that's a key ingredient of high performers, and especially a key ingredient of fighters. So fearsome factor number 2 is his ability to grow as a boxer. Fearsome factor number 3, tactical nous. It's his ability to apply different tactics are as good as any heavyweight I've ever seen. Now, the other person I always talk about who was elite level like this was Muhammad Ali. He could change his style to and apply different tactics to different opponents. I think if you're talking about Ali when it comes to tactics, you should be talking about Tyson Fury in the same sentence in respect of how good he is at tactical awareness and making the fight his from a tactical point of view. That's not to say I think Tyson Fury's better than Ali before you start jumping up and down and saying that idiot Limey is mental. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is from a tactics point of view, Tyson Fury is at that level. Take the Wilder fights again. I'll refer to the Deontay Wilder fights. The first fight, so he's on the back foot and he's jabbing on the back foot. He's being mobile. In the second fight, all of a sudden he's dominating the ground. He's moving in. He's putting pressure on Wilder. He's preventing Wilder from setting and letting them big bombs go. Two very different styles, two very different tactical approaches, and he executed each one brilliantly. There's an early one of his fights, a guy called Joey Abel, a southpaw, and Fury. So Abel's a southpaw. So if you imagine your southpaw, your lead foot here, rear foot there, he kind of jabs, comes out to the side. So as an orthodox against a southpaw, you're moving into a safe zone, throws a hook, and then steps out again and hits him with this backhand, sticks him on his backside. But it shows a real smartness of jabbing, hooking, pushing into the safe zone of the southpaw, and then smashing the perfect counter punch in for a right hand. Tactically really clever. Take his body punching, big guy, 6'9", something freakish like that. But his ability to switch from head to body, he's an excellent body punching exponent. All part of his tactical ability to bring fighters to heel. Tactical nous. Finally, his roughhouse tactics. You may not like it, but look, heavyweight boxing is much of what goes on inside. You know, forearms in the face and pulling the head down and uppercuts. This is all stuff that happens, especially in the heavyweight ring. Tyson Fury does it brilliantly. Might be difficult to watch, unpleasant, but he's brilliant at it. So yeah, tactical nous. Fearsome factor number 4, varied footwork. When we talk about footwork, I'm not talking about dancing and showboating and all this stuff. You know, he does a bit of that, but that's really just fluffy stuff. I'm talking about positioning. Now, he has, interestingly, quite a narrow stance a lot of the time. So it's, you know, I find that unusual. I tend to see much wider stances in boxers. But his positioning, his ability to maintain range. So he can decide, for a big guy, what range he's at. And that's all about little deft movements of the feet. You know, he can constantly shift position. He switches quite easily from southpaw to orthodox. Interestingly, when he's in southpaw, you can see he's not a natural southpaw, because when he throws his jab, his elbow pops up a lot, you know. But from the orthodox stance, and he's his ability to position himself in relation to the opponent, bright, clever when it comes to footwork. Take the final combination in the second Wilder fight. I love seeing stuff like this because this is straight from amateur boxing. 1 out, 1 2. You know, that was the finishing combination. That's what brought the towel in from the Wilder corner. 1 1 2. Really powerful, sharp feet, executed like a lightweight rather than a heavyweight. So that's his footwork, varied footwork, fearsome factor number 4. Final fearsome factor, upper body dynamism. Lots of people talk about his footwork, but I actually think it's his upper body work that sets him apart. So hugely active from the waist up. You watch him, he's constantly head shifting, you know, tapping his nose, because again, boxing is a pressure business. If you're not punching, you should be feinting. If you're not feinting, you should be punching. You keep the pressure on, even if you're not moving forward. You know, you watch how much activity goes from the waist up. He makes things happen. Really something you should always think about. Okay? So when you're on the bags, when you're in the shadow, just get used to, if you're not punching, popping a jab, doing lots of feints. There's my 5 fearsome factors. For me, the best British developed heavyweight, certainly of my lifetime. I appreciate that Lennox Lewis is a British fighter, but he was not developed in the British amateur boxing system. Lennox was a product of the Canadian amateur boxing system. So up and down that East Coast, sparring all kinds of, and competing against the best heavies in the world. So yes, Tyson Fury, best British heavyweight, developed heavyweight of my lifetime. Okay, I'm going to stop. I feel like I've been talking for ages. Please subscribe. You know, as we write, I'm probably 2,000 or 3,000 subscribers off getting 100,000 YouTube subscribers. It means nothing, but it's just one of them psychological things that I'd really like to get past. I've been hovering between the 90 and 95,000 mark for what seems like a lifetime. So it would be lovely if you could subscribe and share, and you know, it would be cool if I could get up above 100,000 subscribers. It would be a nice little milestone for me. Otherwise, sign up to the Beginner Boxer Toolkit. All kinds of stuff in there that'll help you set your boxing training regime up in the perfect way to get the most out of it you possibly can. My name's Franz Sands, and this is myboxingcoach.com. Thank you.